And um, thanks. All right, I think we're live. Okay. So far, a successful morning. I made good tea for my wife. Yes. Okay, we're good. We're live. Hello, everybody. All right, so we're learning about AI together. Um, I took a step back, so I was kind of reviewing how things went last week, and I kept thinking, like, man, there is so much I feel like I'm doing wrong at a fundamental level. Like foundationally, how are you supposed to be doing this whole AI thing to get good results? I mean, I've done a bunch of different work with it, generating images. I've played around with videos. I've created marketing content, marketing ideas, um, tools for my business. And what I feel like I keep running into is this inability to um, prompt it well. Okay. Because what would happen if you guys watched last week, it was like, all right, I would tell it to do something, and then it would really not do a good job of it. And then I'd have to go in and add more and prompt it again and give it more information. And the results were is it would eventually kind of start forgetting other things, and then it wouldn't do the tasks correctly, especially if I was asking it to do like a big task. Um, And everybody talks about AI is going to revolutionize everything in your life. It's so powerful. And yes, it is. I've definitely seen a lot of that. But I still feel like, what I kept saying last week is it's like a petulant child. It seems like every time I ask it to do something, it finds a way to do it poorly or wrong or whatever. So over the week, I've done research. I even like started paying for a couple AI education tools. Um, and the first thing it talks about is prompt engineering. Okay. And I've heard about this, right? You guys have probably seen me do a little prompt engineering. So I don't know how I found it, maybe just random YouTube videos, but you kind of do these prompts that's like, you are a, um, let's just go back to like content generation. You are a real estate investor, or no, you are a content creator for a real estate investment company that specializes in land. Make me a list of 20 viral content ideas and include um, a viral hook to start the reel or whatever. Okay. So I do this and I'm saying what it is, who I am, and what I want it to do. And that definitely works better than if I just said, give me 20 viral content ideas about real estate, I guess. Um, and I've been trying to think about how to test this. And something I saw is you can do um, a type of chat. Let me see if I can figure this out here. You can do a temporary chat. So a temporary chat is not going to store the information that you're typing in here. So what kind of is happening is every time you're plugging information into this model or any individual project or any individual GPT, I don't even know what these are all called. All these little threads on the side is what I kind of call them, threads uh, or chats, I guess. Yeah, right. What ends up happening is the more information you pump into it, the more it's always kind of like being drawing from that well of information to give you an output. Okay, so I can't really do testing in there to see if it's giving me better results. And that's what I want to test today. I want to test like prompting. Does prompting really make this big difference that everybody says it does? Is it more effective to spend a bunch of time doing a big prompt up front, which takes a lot of effort, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like, versus starting with a relatively simple prompt and then having the GPT iterate on it. So the way we're going to test that is start with very basic prompts and move up to very long and complicated prompts. And I'm going to try to get this all done in a realistic time frame because I have other stuff to do today. So we're going to take that same idea of just like create viral content, video, viral content ideas for me. Um, so your boy wants to go viral. All right, so let's say I am a real estate investor that specializes in land. So I'm just talking about myself and I'm not telling it to be anything. Create 20 different viral content ideas for me. Enter. All right, let's see what it gives. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close. Actually, I'll just make a new uh, tab on my document. I'm going to call this prompt testing. I can type today. We'll see prompt testing. I'm going to paste this in there, and then I'm going to go start a new one of these things. Then I'm going to give it a more in-depth prompt, and I'm just going to keep copying and pasting, and then comparing, um, and see what we get. Okay, so looks fine. Let's see what the first one gave us. Will it paste? Copy. Will it paste? There we go. All right, so there's the prompt, and it said transformative video series show before and after videos of properties you renovated. Doesn't make sense because I do land. I guess maybe you could renovate land a little bit. Local market updates, doing that. Investment tips carousel, interesting. Client testimonial videos, I've done plenty of that in my day. Day in the life series, I actually just posted one of these. Interactive polls and quizzes, I've done that. Live property tours, I've done videos like that in the past. Investor interviews, I do that on my podcast. We do cuts of that. Educational webinars, I'm hosting educational in-person seminars now. That's pretty cool. Memes and humor, I've done plenty of that. Stunning property photos, uh, FAQ, serious guide downloads. Okay, so this is all very generic, and I guess kind of what I would expect. Oops. So let's do a page break here, and let's try if I know how to do a page break. And then let's try it again and give it a better prompt. Okay, so I don't know. How do I get out of this? All right, turned off temporary chat. Now let's do temporary chat again. Okay, so the last one was very simple. Let's review it again one more time. It says, I'm a real estate investor that specializes. Oh, I didn't even put inland. That's probably why it was messed up there. Anyways, we'll try the next one. All right, I'm a real estate investor that specializes in land. You are, and this one I'm gonna tell it what it is. You are um, the world's best viral content creator. Please give me 20 examples or 20 ideas to take my land company viral! Exclamation. All right, let's see if this does any better. Obviously, it'll have more land stuff. Okay, so how does this compare? Oh, different one. Okay, it looks like it's giving me more quotes in like the headings. Very similar stuff. So transformation, but it gives some kind of specific deals there. Buy land, they're not making any more of it campaign. Interesting. Did it even paste differently? I don't know if you guys ever noticed that. Buy land, they're not making any more of it. Unbelievable video series. So there's a lot more quotes. It does appear to be, I would say, much more in depth. Look, like um, giving like comparison ideas. It's giving examples, kind of giving like catchy little lines. Um, Land lottery game. These are more fun ideas for sure. Land myths debunked mini docu series. That's a good one. Glamping on your land. Own the land. Own the future challenge. Wow, sounds actually really good. Hey, don't look at this stuff, okay, guys? Um, all right, let's take a minute, see if anyone's here saying hi to me or not. Okay. Let's see. And you get a second screen. Don't worry, folks. I will be getting a second screen. Okay, back to it. So that gives us, I would say, a strong iteration for our second prompt. That is definitely improved. So let's take it one step further. And I'm following a prompt model called, I guess I don't know if it has a great prompt model, but it says, so I did, it says that you should try to incorporate 6 different things into your prompts. Um, Role, task, specifics, context, examples, and notes. And I'll share maybe a screenshot of this, but the first one I did was just the task. The second one I did was the role and the task. So now let's add specifics to this and see what we yield. So I'm going to turn off our temporary chat, go back into our temporary chat, and instead of starting all over, I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to give it specifics. Specifically, I want this content to be 30 to 60-second long reels for social media channels and YouTube. It has to have a catchy intro, um, and headline. I guess headline's not the right word for it. I'll just say catchy intro. The algorithm rewards spontaneous intros, like someone jumping into camera frame before they talk, or engaging in some sort of visually appealing activity while they talk, like walking through a park, whatever. Now let's see what it does. All right, so you can tell like the first iteration is simple, and I could have like taken that and said, all right, improve upon it in this way, this way, this way. All right, so I would say that this prompt is already demonstrating some quality. So it says it's giving me an intro for each one. Start by pulling out a metal detector and saying, "Guess what I found on my land investment." I guess that works if I actually found something on my land investment. I guess I could like wave it over a box of cash or something, but whatever. Land is the future. Shocking stat. Okay, jump into frame, holding a big for sale sign and yell, "Land is cheaper than you think." Man, I'm probably going to engage in some of this, and I already feel cringy, but hey, do it for the vine. Okay, unexpected places you can own land. Intro, show a globe spinning and stop it dramatically. Did you know you can own land here? These are actually pretty good ideas. Again, you cannot copy any of my viral content ideas that ChatGPT made for me. Okay, so let's copy that, move it over. Doing good. Paste. Right. Okay. Well, I would say we're definitely onto something here. Now I'm going to take my idea again, go back into ChatGPT, undo the temporary chat, redo the temporary chat. I hope this is doing what I think it's doing. I believe it is. Okay. So we did just the task, and then we did the task and the role, and then we did the task, the role specifics. And now we're going to provide context. I guess I kind of cheated here a little bit because I did provide some examples, and examples is another one. All right, so here I'm actually going to um, just say for additional context and add this other paragraph. I want you to focus on the value of long-term ownership and do not frame land as a get-rich-quick scheme. The idea is to really reinforce the safety of the investment and the ability to use the investment while you hold it, like in recreational land. And finally, highlights the ability for one to force appreciation on a property through subdivision, rezoning, entitling, or developing. All right, so that's context. I think. Let's try that. So you notice it definitely goes slower, I think. Maybe I'm making that up, but I think it's definitely going slower the more in depth the prompt. Why land is the ultimate safe haven. You jump into frame holding a metal vault. Why am I going to get a metal vault? Looking for the safest investment in 2025? Here's why land beats everything else. Main content: explain land is a physical tangible asset that can't be hacked, stolen, or devalued overnight, like digital investments. How land pays you back while you hold it. Intro, walk through a scenic pace of land. You spin around and say, "Imagine owning this and getting paid while you hold on to it." Highlight recreational use, leasing options, timber, agricultural revenue streams. That's pretty strong. Turn dirt into dollars. How to force appreciation on land. Buy land and not making any more of it. Um, would I say this is much better? Yeah, I mean, I guess it is more focused like towards my brand, right? So, I'm never trying to lie to my end land buyers to tell them like if you buy my land, you're going to be rich for some reason. That would be ridiculous. So I definitely don't want people thinking that. Um, so I would say that even though I misspelled appreciation, we've done some good here. Um, so let's take this and iterate one more time. Okay, so that one we did task, role, specifics, and context. Now for examples, I'm going to try two things. I'm going to give it a specific example or a few specific examples. And I think I'm actually going to pull them from the previous list. So this is a bit of a cheat. It is sort of iteration, but I'm going to choose my favorite two or three. And then the second one is I'm going to ask it to review social media channels from other like viral content creators in real estate that are doing the best work. So I'm just going to do this one first. So for additional context, boom, boom. Here are a few examples. And in these examples, I could also kind of elaborate on the structure I want the information given back to me in. So you'll see that it's kind of picked its own format: title, intro, main content. Um, so I could say expand it to be like it's intro, main content, text overlay. I could ask it to provide me text overlay. I think I'll just do that. Um, so let's do hacking on a lake. I really have to go all out for some of this stuff. Machete in hand. From vacant lots, a dream property. Standing next to an empty piece of land, you dramatically point and say, "This looks empty now, but in 6 months, it'll be someone's dream." I like that one. So I'm going to take this example and I'm going to expand it a little bit. And I want it to have the main content on a specific area. And I want it to say text overlay. Do you dream of land? Whatever. This might be stupid, but all right, whatever. I'm just gonna give it one example and see what it does. Nice. So you see how I copied my format. This land made 50,000 on slept. Through a field holding a launcher, you unfold it and sit down dramatically. Explain how rezoning or entitling land can create significant value over time. Secrets of building wealth you can walk on. Nice. Owning land is the hidden gem of investing. Boom. I like this one. Before you skip this video, dramatically throw a map on the ground and say, "You're sitting on a gold mine." Explain subdivision and how splitting land creates exponential returns. Ever heard of land flipping? Why land beats Bitcoin every time. Walk past a Bitcoin logo graphic on an empty plot of land and onto an empty plot of land. Talk about land stability and usability as an investment compared to volatile assets. Nice. Might not be the best one. Bitcoin's kind of killing it right now. Okay, so this is wow. I would have to say that this is, and it's still working. See how long it takes. It's really churning over here. Um, so I've done this where I asked it to generate viral content ideas, and uh, I think I might have done a couple things wrong. I asked it to do too much all at once in terms of like instead of saying make 20, I asked it to make 100. And in fact, let's see what it does. This might take a long time. We'll see. So I'm just gonna start it now and then we can talk. So I'm gonna turn off temporary chat, turn it back on, put this, and all I'm gonna oh, undo. Can I be all that? Hold on, bear with me. Do I have all the actual ideas? Just this one example. So all I'm going to say is say, give me 100 ideas. I'm going to keep that working in the background while we talk a little bit here. Um, so yeah, I think one of the issues I've had in the past is I'll ask it to create an abundance all at once, and one, I think it's kind of engineered to do poorly in those situations because ultimately all of this stuff is being run on a computer somewhere and I'm paying whatever 19 bucks a month and like I could actually out I can make it not profitable for them the more I use this. And if I'm asking it to really churn, like I'm using up the energy, especially like the cooling capacity, the energy used in cooling all these GPUs or whatever. Um, and that's pretty rough on really their business model, right? They want to be profitable, even though I don't think any of these are really profitable yet. Um, So if you ask it to do a ton of work at one time, there's probably like something built in that kind of throttles it. Otherwise, it's going to kill itself, right? Uh, work the computers to death and cost the company more money, OpenAI. So one thing I've considered doing, or uh, like the way to do this on a regular basis is instead of me creating a list of 100 viral content ideas and saving them into a spreadsheet, I create an automation that prompts this specific chat once every morning for 5 viral content ideas. And then I choose one of those viral content ideas that I think is doable, um, doesn't involve me going to buy a safe or something like this, right? Um, and that's where we're going to go next. So I've done everything, but the last thing is notes. So I've given it role, tasks, specifics, content, examples. And really, it says here like there's kind of a breakdown of how much text you should be putting into each one of these. But examples is the largest one. So like if you want it to do well for you, you want to give it 3 or 4 like really clear examples of not only the sort of content that you're looking for, but also the exact sort of um, format you want the information given back to you, etc. All right, so let's see how it's doing. Let's look at that. Funny. Yeah, so it kind of gave me some nonsense, right? So 1 through 10, all right. Those look pretty good. Hold a $10 bill. This loses value. Land gains it. Explain how land protects wealth. 11 through 20, that looks great. Except for went 11 through 15. And you can just see how it starts stuttering. Like you give it, you're doing too much, is what it's saying to me. You're doing too much. Stop doing this. So for me, I feel like one of the things that needs to be focused on is not only the prompt that you're using, but like the demands you're making of this thing. Like think of it like a quarter horse. Like you're out there trying to make it work or till or something like that. And if you're just whipping the crap out of it, you're actually going to not do as well as if you just allowed it to work on its own timeline. So it does not like doing these big things. So I don't think we should ask it to do these big things, or at least not if we're expecting quality results. Um, so now we're going to retest this previous prompt, um, but we are going to change it a little bit, and I'm going to ask it to do some research. So let's go ahead and turn off temporary chat, go back into temporary chat, paste in, and I'm going to remove for additional context. I don't know if this really matters, but for me, I feel like if it helps me read it, it probably helps it read it. Here's a few examples. Um, and here in lieu of here are a few examples. For examples, please review the content that other high profile creators are making. in the social media space, learn from them, and provide a few links to the content you've studied to give me these examples, to give me these results. So let's see what this does. Man, examples, nonsense. I'm just typing nonsense over here. All right, so one thing I removed from the example is the format, so that's annoying. Okay, I accidentally asked for 100 again. Let's redo this. 20. Again. See, I'm doing this shit loud as hell. Non-stop mistakes. Okay, try again. For examples, please research what other folks are doing. Let's see, what other, I want to say influencers, whatever. Please research other real estate investor content creators with a large following and successful viral videos to inform your results. Let's see what it does. From dirt to dream, transforming raw land. Okay. Give the intro and the content break out the right way. Interesting. Weekend getaway, your own private land. Again, setting up oh, yeah, hammock. Recreational meets fun. Intro, right into the frame on an ATV, showcasing the land's recreational use. So various recreational activities possible on owned land, emphasizing enjoyment while the investment appreciates. Oh no. Enter the frame dressed as a construction worker, complete with a hard hat and blueprint. Discuss how rezoning can change a property's value and the process involved in achieving it. So a family planting a tree together on their land. Talk about legacy aspects of land ownership and its benefit. That's really cute. Um, okay, well, I would say this is about the same as before. Oh, let's see what the sources are. That's neat. They really did all that research. Gave me 19 though. Okay, I like that. So here's another selection. All right, let's see what time we're at. All right, so I'm probably not going to run this full hour. We're going to go through this last iteration where I'm going to include notes. Um, so this, once I include the notes, I should be uh, giving like the best, most well-rounded prompt possible for this little boy. So in the notes, I'm going to include the format that I want. That's how I do. So turn that off. Let's go back into temporary chat. Boom. For examples, please research other real estate investor content creators with a large following and successful viral videos to inform your results. Notes, So I'm just going to say notes. These intros must be relatively simple to execute. I don't want to have to go buy a safe. Acquire, if I can spell acquire random things like safes to do an intro. Um, Please format the videos to include um, intro, content, location, and text overlay with emoji. It would also be sweet to get some hashtags. Boom. Okay. What do we get? So, in this kind of education that I've been following, this breakdown of the perfect prompt, I'm sure everybody's gonna have some different crap, but this one really seems to be working well. He says that ChatGPT uh, tends to have like an attention span, I guess, and it really remembers the first things you pump into it and the last things you pumped into it, and in the middle is where things tend to be lost. Um, so another thing we can do is we can take this exact uh, prompt and run it through 3 or 4 times to really see what it's going to do differently from time to time. And let's see what it gets. All right, from blank canvas to masterpiece. Start by unfurling a large blank canvas in an open field. I kind of told it don't make me go buy stuff, but all right, a big canvas. Discuss how raw land is a blank canvas for investors, emphasizing the potential for recreational land and development. Open field for undeveloped land. Watch your investment grow. Plant a small tree sapling into the ground. Explain the parallels between nurturing a tree and holding land long term, highlighting appreciation over time. Honestly, this is really strong. Now, did it stay strong all the way to 20? No. It looks like it got to 10 and went. So you see, the more you ask of it, you have to limit what it's going to provide you. Otherwise, it overworks and explodes. So now let's copy this and do it one more time and just say 10. And I bet it gives me like better results. Give me 10 ideas. Forgot to copy and paste that. So I'm going to copy and paste this result, this one. Start by energetically jumping into the frame with a picnic basket. So a quick montage of transforming a piece of land into a family picnic spot, emphasizing recreational use during ownership. Open field or wooded area. I'll definitely get some haters in the comment, be like, it's called going to a park, idiot. Um, Man, these are sick, honestly. It still pooped out. It couldn't get to 10. Interesting. So let's copy this one over, and then I'm going to prompt it to do 5 and see what it gives me. I wonder if it's secretly keeping memory and all this is a waste. I don't think so. All we're going to do is 5, and then let's do 1 and see if it comes up with the best viral content idea. I feel like it definitely spent a little more time. That's good. Beginning with dynamic shot. Cool. So here I notice it gives me 4 hashtags instead of 3. It added quotes around, it's like these subtle differences you can tell it's kind of taking more time and putting a little more effort. So now I'm going to prompt it to just give me one and see what it does. Film yourself walking through an urban area, pointing out different property types, then facing the camera to begin speaking. And here it gave the sources, easy to copy. Interesting. So let's copy all this, and we'll include the sources because it gave us sources. That's pretty sick. Page break. All right, now we're going to copy it. We're going to do it one last time, and then I'm out of here. And I'm going to ask it to do one. Boom. Intro, begin content, opening statement, segment one, segment two. And look at how much more in depth it went when I asked it to do one. So again, my thought is like, you ask it to do a whole bunch of stuff in one session, and you're really going to suffer in terms of the quality it renders. Whereas if you ask it to do one thing really well,